Welcome back to the podcast, the Grind, Sleep, Repeat podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about which is going to help you lose fat, cardio or strength training.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have questions on this. When they think of, I want to lose weight, they go directly to the treadmill. And today we're going to tell you the benefits of cardio, the benefits of strength training, give you all the information so you can make an informed decision, and tell you how we structure things for our clients that are looking to build muscle, lose fats, and just make a lot of progress in the gym. But no matter what your goal is, whether you're looking to build muscle or if you're looking to lose fats, you're going to be training hard in the gym and you need to recover from those hard workouts. So eating enough protein in your diet is going to be essential, and getting consistent protein can be hard. And that's where a good protein powder and a good protein replacement, like our Fit Grind Whey protein, comes in handy. Has 24 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar. So we want to tell you more about our Fit Grind Whey protein and tell you why you need to start taking it and make the switch.
Does your current protein have a laundry list of ingredients? If so, you need to switch to Fit Grind protein. We have 7 ingredients in our protein. It mixes really well, tastes great, and it has 0 sugar. We also use a grass-fed whey protein, and it's easy to digest.
So make the switch to Fit Grind protein today, try it out for yourself, and see the difference.
So head over to fitgrindformula.com. We'll leave the link down below to give our protein a shot.
Yeah, and you can use the code GRIND15 and you'll save 15% off your first order. So go try it out, guys. We appreciate the support. Let's hop into the podcast.
Yeah, so just diving right in, talking about whether or not cardio or weights is going to help you reach your fat loss goals.
Yeah, I think let's start off with talking about cardio. Let's talk about strength training. Let's talk about the benefits. And then let's talk about if you're really looking to maximize fat loss, if you're looking to make a lot of progress, which is going to make the most bang for your buck, and how do you really structure that into your program? So let's talk about cardio first. A lot of times people think that cardio is the way to go when they're trying to lose weight. Cardio burns calories, and people think of, if I want to lose weight, I got to go on this diet and I got to get on a treadmill and run. And to some degree, they're right. Cardio is going to help you burn calories, which no matter what you're doing, you can't out-train a bad diet. So it's the combination of your cardio and your diet that's going to help you see the results that you want to see. And by eating fewer calories than our body's consuming, that's where we're going to lose weight. So we're in a caloric deficit. Eating more calories than our body's burning, it's in a caloric surplus. We're going to gain weight. So that's the first thing that you have to understand is, no matter what you're doing in the gym, if you're going home and you're not eating to support your fitness goals, you're just going to spin your wheels and you can't out-train a bad diet. But cardio does help you burn calories during the workouts. There's lots of different forms of cardio that you can do. Some are good for one thing, some are good for the other. And overall, yes, cardio can help you lose weight by burning calories.
Yeah, the best advice that I can give you is to slowly implement the cardio in. So if you're somebody who has a sedentary job and you sit a lot, or you're just not you don't move a lot all day, the first thing you can do is start by keeping track of your steps. So incorporating more movement, being more thoughtful about your movement, whether that be parking further away, getting in more steps throughout the day in general, taking breaks from work and going for long walks, getting outside, getting some movement in. But also, as far as like intentional cardio in the gym, for fat loss, you want to start by implementing at least 2 days a week. And then your calories are already in a deficit. So if you start seeing the progress of your weight loss start to decline, then you can start adding in more cardio days. But it's not something we want to throw 5 days, 7 days all at once and then have nowhere to move from there.
Yeah, I think people it's very easy to just add all this cardio in at once. And then like Alyssa said, if you start seeing a sticking point with your weight, your cue is to increase your movement, increase your cardio, or decrease your calories. So use it as a card in your back pocket to play. Cardio is good. Some of it, we don't want to do cardio every single day for 60 minutes and and you have nowhere to go from that because adding more cardio is just not going to work very well. So cardio is a tool. There's two different types of cardio that you can do. So your energy systems with your cardio, you can do anaerobic cardio, which is your high intensity, or you can do aerobic cardio. Both have validity in a fat loss program, but you want to typically do most of your cardio, 75 to 80% of it coming from aerobic cardio, where it's longer durations. The heart rate is not crazy high. It's at a steady state. This is often referred to as steady state cardio, where if you're looking at aerobic zones, you're in aerobic zones of 1, 2, maybe even 3, and you're keeping your heart rate at a steady pace. This could be things like a long jog, a bike ride. You could do things like rowing and skiing and stuff like that. It just has to be a lot lower of intensity. And then the other 20 to 25% of the time, you can use anaerobic cardio. Anaerobic cardio is going to help you improve your VO2 max. It's going to help you burn a lot of calories in that workouts, but you don't want to do it all the time because it's very hard to recover from. So this is things like bike sprints or treadmill sprints. You're pushing the sled around. You're doing really high intensity box jumps or high intensity cardiovascular workouts. You're working your anaerobic energy system. So whatever you're doing, however many times you're doing cardio a week, most of the time it should be aerobic. If you're doing cardio, say 3 or 4 times a week, 1, maybe 2 of those can be higher intensity anaerobic. But just make sure that not every single workout is anaerobic or every single workout is aerobic. You want a blend of both in your program to maximize your progress.
And some ways to be able to know where your heart rate is by having a watch or a chest strap. That's something we really utilize during our half marathon training. And then, or just if you don't have any of those things, just knowing if I can hold a conversation without like dying, then I know I'm at that aerobic state. So, that would get you your steady state cardio. And if your heart rate is at that threshold almost to the maximum, therefore you can't hold a conversation. You're huffing and puffing. It's hard to catch your breath. Those types of exercises are going to be that higher intensity. And our bodies, when we're in that calorie deficit and we're already lacking energy and stress, putting our bodies in that deficit, putting too much stress on the body can actually give you the opposite effect. So if you are to do too much cardio like that high intensity cardio, it can actually cause you to either not lose the weight or gain weight because you're putting your body at too much stress.
Yeah. And so the reason why you want a blend of two is because you're working 2 different energy systems. So looking at aerobic cardio, what that means is you're utilizing oxygen. Aerobic means with oxygen. So when you're doing that, you're able to utilize fat as an energy source. So you're teaching your body to utilize fat, but in the absence of oxygen, when we're working anaerobically, your body cannot utilize actual fat as an energy source. You're utilizing carbohydrates. It's a different energy system completely. So doing some low intensity is going to help you develop an aerobic engine and develop aerobic cardio capacity, while doing anaerobic is going to help you increase your VO2 max. It's going to increase the function and the strength of your heart. And combining both of those two in your program is really going to help you maximize your fat loss while doing cardio. Cardio is just a tool. It's not the end all be all, but it is a really good tool that you can use to lose body fat.
Yeah, I think if you can use these tips to get you started into your calorie deficit and your fat loss goals and be wise and don't overuse that cardio tool, then you're going to see the best results.
Yeah. So that's what we have to say about cardio. Let's talk about strength training next.
Yeah.
We love strength training. That's, kind of where we both started with our fitness journey is strength training. Strength training it looks so different for so many people. And I think when people close their eyes and they think about strength training, think about big meatheads. They're in the gym, they're lifting a bunch of weights and grunting. And well, yes, that is what weightlifting looks like for some people. It doesn't have to look like that for all people, but strength training is going to help you maintain bare minimum, but at least build some muscle mass. And that's going to be huge. We'll talk about a couple reasons why, but anybody can benefit from strength training, whether it's very low intensity, they're just trying to maintain their function, all the way towards I'm trying to build a ton of muscle and really try to build my physique in a certain way. Anybody can really benefit from strength training. as well as if you're looking to lose body fat.
Yeah, I think women, especially, they hear the term weight training and they're like, "Ooh, big, bulky, scary. I don't wanna look like that." Well, I can assure you that in order to look like that, as in those big, bulky women, they have made the decision to get that way and the commitment to get that way. They have to eat a lot of food, spend a lot of time in the gym, and that if that's not your goal, then you don't need to worry about getting to that
Yeah,
point
it's
because
not going to happen by accident.
it doesn't happen accidentally. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to get that bulky look that most people don't necessarily strive for, and if you do, then that's a whole nother story.
So we're talking about fat loss here. And if you're looking to lose fat, this is how strength training can help you. Strength training is going to help you, like I said, bare minimum, maintain muscle mass. And ideally, it's going to help you build some muscle mass. So if you're in a caloric deficit, you're eating fewer calories and your body's burning, and you're losing weight. If you're not strength training, what can happen is you can run the risk of losing muscle mass. So by strength training, you're constantly telling your muscles that you need to maintain muscle mass. And ideally, if you're not super experienced in the gym, you can lose fat and build muscle at the same time. I see it all the time with clients that we train. People say that it can't happen. I promise you that it can happen. You can have body recomposition. Also, having more muscle is going to increase your metabolic rate, meaning that you're burning more calories at rest. So say that you have example A, this person has a metabolic rate of 1,200 calories, while example B has a metabolic rate of 1,400 calories because they have more muscle. Who do you think is going to lose more weight over the course of time and be able to keep it off? It's that person that is burning more calories at rest because they have to, well, they get to eat more food. They don't have to do as much cardio. They don't have to be in as sharp of a caloric deficit. So by building muscle mass and strength training, you're going to increase your metabolism, and it's almost an investment in your ability to lose weight down the road and keep that weight off.
Yeah, to have that tone look that most people want, women, I'm speaking for women specifically here, that tone look that we all want, we have to try to keep that muscle mass on. So if we are not eating an adequate amount of protein, kind of like we touched on in the beginning, you got to eat that 1 gram of protein per body weight, whether that's supplementing protein shakes, incorporating animal meats, whatever, each meal incorporating protein. And when we're getting that amount of protein, we are making sure that we are holding on to that muscle mass that we want to keep on to, because when we are in that deficit, our body's going to want to take away that because it's harder to hold on to muscle. It takes more energy to keep muscle. So if we can maintain the protein, up our protein, make sure we're getting enough protein, keep our workout intensity in the gym, the weights, keep that intensity high, we're gonna be able to keep the muscle mass on and eliminate the body fat, which is the overall goal for everybody. Like you said, we wanna keep that muscle mass and eliminate the body fat.
So those are the benefits of strength training and cardio. Let's talk about, what is the downside if you don't incorporate cardio in your program? What is the downside if you don't incorporate strength training? What does that look like if you choose one over the other? And then we'll talk about, moving forward, what should you do? What's the best plan of attack? Starting off with cardio. Now, if you don't do cardio, no matter what your goal is, having an inefficient cardiovascular system, bare minimum, is just not good for your health. Doing cardio is very good for your health to have a good, healthy, functioning cardiovascular system to send blood to your working muscles. Also, it's just going to help you stay healthy, keep you from getting sick all the time, and increase your function in your day-to-day life. If you get winded going up a flight of stairs, like that's not very functional to your day-to-day life.
And the cardio portion transfers over into the weight training portion too. So if I'm doing a heavy lifting session or a superset, I'm able to recover through that a lot easier. Versus if you're doing this heavy strength training session and it takes you like 5 minutes just to recover because you're winded, you're out of breath, it's not going to be as efficient and effective.
Yeah. So the downfall of not strength training, if you don't strength train, like we mentioned earlier, and you're trying to lose weight, you do run the risk of losing muscle mass. So a lot of times people think of like, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. And by whatever means possible, I'll lose 20 pounds. If you lose 10 pounds of body fat and 10 pounds of muscle, one, you're not going to like the way that you look from that. And then two, you're losing so much function and strength And again, your metabolism is gonna deteriorate because you are losing muscle mass. You're not burning as many calories. So it's super important to strength train because it's going to help you keep your metabolism high. It's going to help you burn a lot of calories during the workout, but it also takes calories to recover and rebuild your muscle tissue that you break down from your workout. So downside of strength training is just you lose function, you lose muscle mass, your metabolism gets slower,
Yeah.
and you just don't look like Alyssa mentioned earlier. A lot of people want that tone look, or they want to be shredded. A lot of time guys talk about like having muscle, but also being lean. If you just lose weight, you don't have muscle, you're not going to look the way that you have envisioned in your head. You have to have muscle mass. And the only way you're going to do that is through strength training.
Yeah, another thing I think of, and this isn't necessarily fat loss related, but is like the longevity of muscle mass. So as we get older, my goal right now is to just throw on the muscle because as I get older, typically what happens is we lose that muscle mass just from aging. And so as we get older, we want to keep as much muscle mass as we can so that we don't, develop osteoporosis and those bones start to weaken and joints start to get, more achy. So if we can develop the perfect ideal body that we can at this stage of life, it's going to help us as we age in longevity.
Yeah. There's no time like the present to build muscle. Like people ask about what's like the best age to build muscle. Yeah, there's different ages that you're going to probably build muscle a little faster because you can recover faster, in that like 15 to 30 range. But you can still build muscle in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. I mean, I currently have a client who's 77 years old and he's built muscle and
Yeah.
he's building strength. It's possible, but the rate that you build muscle and build strength is a lot slower. So start right now, invest in your health for the future by strength training. And that probably gives it away, what our answer is what's better for fat loss is the combination of both,
Combination.
doing cardio and strength training in your program. Not just because, yes, it's good for fat loss to do both, but also it's just good for your health. And
Mhm.
that's what we're all about is blending together not only a program that's going to help you see the body composition results that you want, but also just to prioritize your health moving forward. Like Alyssa mentioned, focusing on longevity. We don't just want to live a lot of years. We want to live a lot of high quality years. We've talked about that before. And that all starts by the things that we're doing today and investing in our health for the future by strength training, lifting weights, getting stronger and holding on to muscle mass, and then doing cardio. Your VO2 max, like we talked about earlier, it's the max volume of oxygen that you can utilize. And people that have a higher VO2 max are more anaerobically efficient. They have a better cardiovascular system. That number has a direct correlation to life expectancy. So as your VO2 max goes up, your life expectancy goes up. You mix some strength training with that, and you're going to have a long, high quality life for a long time. So blending cardio and strength is not just good for fat loss, it's also good for longevity and health.
Yeah, finding a balance of both of them alongside with the diet portion that we didn't touch on today, but we've touched on in previous episodes. Combining all of those things together is going to give you the best results for fat loss. And there is such thing as overdoing the weight training and overdoing the cardio. So that's why today's episode is so important about finding the perfect blend.
Yeah, and it could look so different for everybody, depending on your goals. If you guys have questions, we love to help out any way that we can. We're gym owners and trainers, and we help people every day. And if you're looking for some help, we love to help you out. General rule of thumb is ideally, if you're working out, let's just take, for example, someone that's working out 5 days a week. They're going to work out Monday through Friday. They're going to take the weekends off because that's a pretty typical workout split for some people. You want to at least have 2 to 3 strength training days. And say that you're very new to strength training, start with 2 or 3. That's a good place to start. And then maybe the other 2 or 3 could be cardio conditioning days. That's a really good program to start with. You're going to see a lot of progress. Now, with your strength training, just make sure that you're trying to get stronger over the course of time. And then same thing with your cardio. Like, don't just come in and do the same 20 minutes here.
Purpose and intention.
Yes, purpose and intention. Get better, not only in your strength training, but also get better in your cardio. Like, almost gamify it a little bit and focus on your performance. Like, okay, today I'm going to do the rower and I'm going to do 5 rounds of a minute on, minute off. And then next week, I'm going to do 6 rounds of a minute on, minute off. You can add volume over time. You could try and get more output in a certain amount of time. So say that you're getting like 15 calories in a minute. Okay, next time I'm going to do 5 rounds again, but I'm going to try and get 16 calories. Like, you can gamify it, and just those little micro progressions over time is really what's going to make your body change. If you don't take it upon yourself to add those progressions and try and get stronger and try and get better, that's where you see people go to the gym and they just stay the same for years and years and years. So you have to focus on getting stronger, getting better in some way, shape, or form, and placing that stimulus on your body.
Yeah, find ways to push yourself, elevate your fitness, and we can't be in a fat loss phase forever. So finding periods of time to focus on strength, focus on, if you have goals of running a half marathon, then we cut back on the strength training, push more on the cardio. If you have goals of specific strength training, Murph, things like that, we can help you with that as well.
Yeah. So hope this podcast helped you guys. Like I said, if you have questions, we'd love to help out any way that we can. Just let us know in the comment section below. And again, if you are looking for a good protein powder, more than likely, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already take one. Give our Fit Grind Whey Protein a shot. We'll leave the link in the description in the comments below. Like we said, it has 0 grams of sugar, 24 grams of protein, and only 7 ingredients. So it's high quality, tastes great, and it mixes really well. We'll even leave you that discount code that you can save 15% off your first order. So thank you guys for listening to the podcast and the supports, and we will see you guys in the next one.